Hey friends, welcome back to the Crusty Cranks TV, where we paint lures and make baits. So today I got a pretty cool one. This is a crawl body that I picked up. They're a little hard to get your hands on, yeah. So we're gonna paint this crawl up with the CC056, the Crusty Red Crawfish Crankbait. All right, so we're gonna we started off with titanium white, which I already painted. You guys know I go ahead and pre-primer my bait, so you don't have to sit through that. And sometimes I'll go ahead and put the pearl white on if I'm doing pearl white, and I've got different lure bodies to do. Sometimes I'll go ahead and do a few up just for the videos. So those were the two colors I've used so far. All right, next is going to be a pretty easy color. It's transparent red. So I'm going to spray this whole bait with transparent red. And I'm going to try to do a little better on keeping the bait in the camera, because I noticed the last couple videos I got a little out of camera. So I'm trying to give a little wider view. I do have a camera in front of me, so it makes it a little tough. I'm going to go ahead and coat this guy down with some transparent red. Already getting out of the camera view. Put a little more red in there. I'm going to get a nice coating of red on here. Get a little different clip here. Let me dry this a little bit before I touch it. Okay, let me put a different clip on here so I can hold this guy a little better. Get this tip right here. Okay, I'm going to hit that again, and then I'm going to put my stencil on there. Alright, for stencil, I'm going to use this, what's called Sisal Wrap. I got this on Amazon, and I looked today before I got started on the video, and so I could give you the exact name, but it's Sisal Wrap. And it's actually out of stock right now as of recording this video, but comes in a roll. Some guys call it glitter foil. I think you can find it at probably your hobby shop close to you, but this is pretty thin. So what I like to do on these particular lures is I like to double it up a little bit. It just gives me a little more crackle effect. Okay, and also I'll try to get it as tight as I can. I'm not too worried about the bottom because I'm gonna probably leave the bottom red as much as I can, maybe tin it in just a little bit. Then I like to use these big clips right here because it gives you also something to hold on to while you're spraying. And again, I'm not too worried about the bottom because I might come back and top that off with our next color anyway, just to color it in. But actually it ends up working out pretty good. Just get this as tight as you can. Right down in here, I don't worry about it too much because it kind of gives a little shadow effect around the face if it doesn't give a full, or around the tail if it doesn't give a full texture all the way down. No big deal. I try to get these just as tight as I can. With this pattern stencil, it doesn't matter too much. You just want to get it as tight as you can so you don't spray underneath of it too much. And then down here, stretch it down over the hook, line tie. And then put one more clip on down here. Alright, and the next color, well, let's see, let me get this a little tighter over here on this side. And the next color we're going to be using, and actually the last color, is this Detail Sepia. Alright. Right here, Wicked Colors Detail Sepia. Alright, and then I'll go over the colors one more time before we wrap the video up. I already had red in there, and this is kind of a red tint, or a brownish tint, so it's not real important that I clean out the gun too much, but I do want to get these crusties off of here. Okay, got the sepia in there. Spray a little bit just to get that red out of there. It isn't going to hurt because I'm going to put a good shot on it, so most of that red will wash its way out, cover up anyway. I'll turn my pressure down because I don't want to blow too far underneath the stencil. Go. Okay. Take it by your clips. It's kind of hard to see how much you're getting on there. This color because it blends so much, but I'm not really trying to kill too much of that red anyway. I just want to get that pattern in there a little bit. You'll see. You take it off how it looks. Okay, hit that with a little heat before I take it off. I'm going to do a little bit more on this side over here. Yeah, a little bit under the bill right here. All right, hit that one more time. Okay, when you take these off, just be gentle. You don't want to scratch it. And I just kind of peel it open. There you go. Kind of gives it that little crackle effect. Looks pretty cool. Okay, on the bottom, I'm just gonna, just a little tint. Just to kind of blend it in a little bit. Dirty that red up a little bit. And there we go. Looks pretty good. Sepia is a good detail color for just putting in some light details. See if that's showing up on the camera. Nope. Alright, we'll bring you back and we'll put the eyes on it. Okay, we're going to put in one more color here. For the eyes, I'm going to use this pearlized silver. So I'm going to shake it up real good. And I'll put just enough on the lid. That's all I need. There's a couple little dots. Alright. Since these have raised eyes on them, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. These have raised eyes on them. So what I do is I use my little burnisher tool that I always talk about. Make sure it's good and clean on the end. You don't want a little hunk of dirt on there. Then I'm just going to dip this down in here. Get a little bit of silver on the tip. I brace it with my finger. I'm just going to touch it around. I guess you could do this with a little paintbrush. But I kind of like this because I can kind of get around the eye with it. And that's just enough right there. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. It lets me just put enough paint on there without overdoing it. I try to get them about the same size. A little bit more on this one. There we go. All right, now you'll see that detail really pop out when I put that epoxy on it. So, yeah, let me get this done, and I'll put the epoxy on, and I'll bring you back. All right, guys, there's the finished crusty red crawfish crankbait. And yeah, it looks really good. It's got some silver eyes on it, shining right through. Looking good, looking good. All right, so the colors we used today on this: titanium white, of course, for the primer coat. Then we come over top of it with Wicked Pearl White. Then we used transparent bright red. and then we put our stencil Sisal mesh on, and then we hit it with Detail Sepia, just a light coat of Detail Sepia to get that crackle look. All right, and then we use the pearlized silver for the eyes, to touch the eyes. So all right guys, there it is. Looks pretty good. Ready to catch some bass. All right guys, if you like this video, please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we put up our next video. And as always, remember, stay crusty, my friends.